Welcome back, everyone, to episode 8 in our Industry Manager Future Technologies Let's Play series. And first, let's go back to our previous episode and take a little bit of a look at how we left off there. We had finished up by making some production lines to produce plastics and chemicals. So we've got some things going on there. We're making all this is to make mobile phones and eventually smart glasses. So we're working our way down through the production chain. We're drilling for oil here. We've got 2 refineries making petrochemicals and polymer, which filters its way up through into chemicals and plastics and so forth. So where do we go in this particular video? Well, let's take a look at our production line and we'll find out. So previous video, we worked on getting plastics and chemicals ready to go. In this video, we need to take care of a couple of electronics factories for lithium-ion batteries and integrated circuits. So let's take a quick look at what makes up the lithium-ion battery. That is, we're going to need 3 different mines. We're going to need aluminum, graphite, and lithium. And unfortunately, we're not sure what quantities we need. It'd be real nice to know on this screen what quantities we're going to need for that. And then for integrated circuits, we're going to need silica and then chemicals. Luckily, we're already making chemicals, so we're one step ahead there. So it looks like we're going to make a couple of electronic factories and then about 4 different mines. So we got a lot of building to do. So let's go ahead and get started. However, there is one thing that I want to do on our research. Now, right now we're researching duration to shorten up how long it takes for us to research things. So we're basically getting better at research right now. However, I've noticed that we've been working on our workforces and our mines. Right here we have 3 levels of workforces that we have not upgraded. So I'm going to go ahead and queue that into research and get rid of the final improvement to research. So let's go ahead and research the things that we need to research rather than some of the things that just help us out on time or maybe cost or something along those lines. Okay, with that in mind, let's go ahead and come down to our available buildings, and we're going to need some mines in just a moment. But first, we need electronics factories, and we're going to need 2 of them. So let's go ahead and get these placed down, saving all the space we can. There we go. And our second electronics factory, hopefully we can squeeze it in right here. We can, right there. Okay, so we've got research going. We've got a couple of electronics factories going. And then the next thing we're going to need are some mines. Okay, so let's come down here. We've been doing our mining in this sector of our drilling. So we're polluting all over the place down here. So let's just go ahead and continue on with that here. And let's go ahead and try to line this up as best we can and do a mine there. Okay, so we got 64% and 53% up here. Let's go ahead and speed up time a little bit. Move things along. We're going to need 4 different mines. And boy, we are going to be really low on space here. All right, there's 2. Okay, one of our buildings is done. Now both of them are done. Excellent. So let's go back and place our remaining 2 mines. And let's see what we can do here. 3. And finally, let's see if we can squeeze one right into this gap here. 4. Okay, we'll go ahead and leave everything at an accelerated rate. Let's take a look at our production lines. Now remember, we're waiting on a bit of a worker upgrade there. So I'll tell you what, let's go and take a look at our first electronics factory. We're going to upgrade our workforce, and we're going to upgrade our battery technology because we do not need the processor upgrade, because here we're going to be making lithium-ion batteries, which are located here. Now if we take a look at what we're going to need: aluminum, graphite, and lithium, and we need them in these quantities: 164 aluminum, 115 graphite, and 49 lithium. Okay, let's go ahead and create that product and set our quality and our max number, and let's see what we can make. So we can make 1,000 of these per day. Not sure if that's any good, but it sure does sound good. Okay, so our transport routes, we don't have any right now. And I tell you what, let's go ahead and let's get another, let's see, another warehouse. And we're going to put that next warehouse right here. Since logistics don't seem to matter really in this game, we're going to go ahead and put another warehouse right there. And the reason I'm doing that is because if we come back up here, we're using 73% of the space available here. So that is quite a bit. And I'm worried that we're going to run out of room for some of these products. And a big part of that is me just trying to think ahead. Okay, so we've got our second ready to go here. Let's go to our mine. Let's upgrade our workforce. Let's see, I don't think that's all the way done, but maybe it is. Okay, it is, because we're out of research right now. Wow, that was very quick. So I'll tell you what, let's go back to, with that in mind, let's go back to our personal electronics company, and let's go ahead and research further into the product tree here. Let's go ahead and open up personal electronics, hardware miniaturization, and head mounting displays. We've got room for 3 more. So let's go ahead and let's see what else we've got. Durable materials. And what about under company? Let's go ahead and get that last research duration while we're at it. Okay, and that one's already there. We'll go ahead and get operating costs just a little bit. Okay, let's go ahead and get out of that. So now we know we're done. Our mines are fully upgraded for workers. So let's go ahead and get started to the business of mining. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at what we need for the lithium-ion battery. We're going to need some aluminum, which we've got here. Go ahead and max out our quantity. And how much can we make per day? 264. So it looks like that's going to be plenty because we needed 164 for our batteries. So we're good. Of course, keep in mind, if you're really trying to manage your costs and quantities and only produce what you need each day, then this is, in some cases, going to be massive overkill. So keep that in mind. Okay, so we're producing aluminum here. Let's move on to our next mine, upgrade our workforce, and let's see what's next. Aluminum, we need graphite here. Whoop, wait a minute, I almost forgot to do something here. I almost forgot to do my transportation route. Boy, would we be in trouble. So we're going to choose our second warehouse, which I badly need to rename to keep these things straight. So let's go ahead and do that now. Let's just go ahead and make this one 2, just to keep things simple. And we'll leave the original one alone. Okay, so now we're taking this to 2. And that's going to be our aluminum. So now we're good there. Back to our next mine. We've already upgraded workers to the max. So we've decided we need graphite here, which is the second component to our lithium-ion battery. And max out our quality. And now max out the quantity. So 375 per day here, which is good because we only needed 115 so far in our factory. So far, so good. We've got massive overkill so far going on. Okay, so everything's good there. We're delivering to the factory. On to the next mine, which gets the worker upgrade. And what are we making here? We're going to get lithium. Now, we don't have the ability to get a whole lot of lithium or silica here. Excuse me, we do have plenty of lithium, it's silica we can't get a bunch of. Okay, so we're in good shape here. Let's go ahead and max everything out so we can make 494 per day there. Okay, transportation route. Let's go into number 2, and we should be good there. Okay, our final mine. This is where we're going to want to get the silica. Unfortunately, I took a look around on the map, and I didn't really find anything close to us, any of these other sectors, that had any more than this of silica. So 48, while it looks like a very low number in comparison to some of these other figures, apparently that's just a pretty good number overall for silica. All right, so we can make 48.3 per day. And if you remember, 48 is our number. So finally, the numbers from the sectors come into view, and we can really start to see what's going on with these quantities and how the different sectors affect what you can and cannot produce in what quantities. Okay, so now we've got all of these items going to our second warehouse, which you can see all of these items here. Now, if you remember, we were purchasing several things from our global market. So let's take a look at those orders. So plastics, we're now making plastics. We can cancel that order. Lithium ion batteries, yep. Integrated circuits, well, we're about to get there. Lithium, absolutely. And now these 4 items we are not currently making, so we'll save those on the orders list. All right, so things are going good. So now here we come back to our lithium ion batteries. We need to set up these to go to warehouse number 2. And that'll be the final product. Now let's get our raw materials from the warehouse. And we're going to need graphite. We are going to need lithium. And let's see, that's silica, so we need aluminum here. Okay, so now it can go ahead and get started there, making its product line. So we've got our final product going back to the warehouse, and then we've got our 3 raw materials. Okay, in our next product, well, let's take a look at what we've got first. First of all, we need to upgrade the workforce. See, we won't need the battery technology or processor upgrades, I don't believe, because here we're going to be making integrated circuits. Now, integrated circuits, we need 57 silica and 38 chemicals. Now, we're already making chemicals. And if you'll remember, we're only pulling about, I believe, 48 silica per day from our mine, and we need 56. Well, I'm not going to really worry about this right now. If we need to later on, if it's really becoming a problem, we'll drop down another silica mine in another area. But for now, I'm not going to really worry about that. That's close enough for me to maximum production, because I think we're going to be overproducing anyway, so it's not going to become an issue. So we're making 1,428 per day. Of course, we're going to be limited by the amount of silica we have, but that's okay. So let's see, we want these going to the second warehouse, and that takes care of our final product being delivered. So we're also going to get our silica here, and then we need to have somewhere where we're getting our chemicals, which would be in the first warehouse. So that takes care of both of our raw materials and our final product. So things are going good here. We're on track. And so let's see where we need to go here. Let's see what we've managed to take care of in this particular video. So here we've gotten batteries and integrated circuits taken care of, which we ought to now be able to use to make our mobile phones. So let's go back to our mobile phone factory, which is up here. Now, you can see we've got lithium coming already. we've got, let's see, which product are we looking at? Oh, we're looking at the smart glasses. Okay. So we're looking at smart glasses, and the products we're getting are the lithium, which we're currently getting because we've been getting this from the global market. So we're actually going to change this to get this from the second warehouse instead of the main one, because now we are going to go to the global market and we're going to get rid of all of that lithium that we were buying. We're just going to get rid of it, open up some warehouse space. So let's go ahead and find lithium. Again, this isn't necessarily the most cost-effective way of doing this for sure, but we're going to go ahead and sell from our first warehouse, and we're going to sell, really? That's all we can sell? Okay, well, we'll just go ahead and max this out. Trade value is 533,000. Let's go ahead and sell that. Now that will sell at the end of the day, so we've got a little while before that sells. Let's take a look at what we've got here. So we've got 11,839, and we're selling 9,999. So we've got a little bit left to sell. We'll keep that in mind. Okay, so let's look at our next product, which is the mobile phone. Let's come down and see what we're doing for our warehouse. We got our main product is coming back to that warehouse, plastics, which are going to the main warehouse, chemicals from the main warehouse, lithium battery. We're going to change that and bring it from our new supply, which we're producing, same thing with our integrated circuit. Let's change that there as well. So now we can see exactly where things are coming from. Now, what that means for us is we're also going to come in here and sell all of the integrated circuits and lithium-ion batteries that we have in that main warehouse. Again, we're opening up as much space as we possibly can here. What just happened there? And lithium-ion batteries. Oh, I didn't mess with these numbers quite enough. Okay, so now we're good to go. We're not really going to mess with this progress report a whole lot because, quite frankly, again, no competition. We own the entire company and we're doing okay. As you can see, our cost has gone up for now because I'm way overproducing some of our raw materials. So we're not going to worry too much about that. Let's go ahead and speed things up and see how many more lithium-ion batteries we have left. Do we really have that many in the warehouse? Let's see, okay, so we're almost out there. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to keep the chemicals because that's already going there. Plastics already going there. We probably need to get rid of some of these plastics, but we'll hold that off. Polymer. The reason why I want to get rid of some of this is because we are producing so much of it, and this is probably cutting down on what we're producing each day. All right, so let's go ahead and get rid of this lithium. That should have already happened. All right, so let's try this again. From the main warehouse, quantity is that. And okay, it looks like something just clicked off there. Let's see if that's what that was. It is not. So that's a little bit odd that that's not working. You can see here as we look at our second warehouse how much these are going up or down per day. And you notice that silica, we're not quite producing as much as we need, so we've got a negative number here. It's pulling everything that comes in each day. Otherwise, we've definitely got a surplus of each and every item. So here, I'm not quite sure why this isn't working, why we're still showing this quantity here. So we're not going to worry too much about that because, as you can see, we've got plenty of excess, and most everything else has a quantity of 0 or very small numbers, either negative or positive, which means that we're basically getting rid of all of them that we're making, except for that. Interesting. So we went up by 133 that day. You see the quantity is very low. So we have to be selling pretty much all of it because we're not building up anything. And then it goes back down. Okay, so it's seesawing quite a bit, riding the roller coaster for that particular product. It's going way up and then way down day after day. But everything else really looks good. All right, some of this, of course, is looking good because I have a maximum set of 10% in space, the space for this particular warehouse to be taken up by this product, and we're not using any of this. So this is very interesting that we're not able to get rid of this lithium. Because let's try this one more time. So sell it out of that warehouse and sell. Very interesting. All right, I think we're going to leave it here for this particular episode. We're going to slow things down just a little bit here. As you can see, we're running out of research that's really critical to us right now. I'm thinking about go ahead and queue up a storage increase for our warehouses, because that's 30% increase, which is huge for us, as we're having some issues right now with storage, as we are especially given some of the overproduction we're doing with our intermediate components. So we'll go ahead and end it here. So what have we accomplished today? Well, let's take a quick look before we end. So for our mobile phone, we're now producing all of the components here. And as a matter of fact, we can go to our production line for our components and see that now we've transitioned to using our second warehouse, which is where these products are being produced and then shipped to. And now everything that we are using in our mobile phone is being produced by us. We're not buying any of the components or raw materials for this particular item on the global market. So that's one product down. And now, next time, we'll head on to the next product in line for this treatment, which is the smart glasses. So I appreciate you really joining me and spending your time with me for this episode. And stay tuned for more Industry Manager Future Technologies.